Nickball often slightly leans his head forward over his lead foot, causing him to be front foot heavy. While in this position, he's often in the pseudo Philly shell with his lead hand in a sling and his rear hand near his chin. Lacking the elite reflexes necessary to catch, pull, or slip from this position, he's typically very susceptible to jabs. He's often taking pictures and practically stationary while remaining in mid-range. Much of Goodman's offense is predicated off of the jab, which he sets up behind the jab feints, foot feints, and false steps. Ball throws leaping lead hooks which momentarily take both his feet off the ground, leaving him defenseless until he reestablishes his base. When he does land, he's off balance in a dangerous position as his head and body are completely exposed to counterpunches until he can reset back into equal positioning. In some instances, Ball leaps so far out of position that his back is facing his opponent. When he's not winging hooks, he's often reaching with the rear hand to land power punches. When in this position, his rear leg almost always comes off the ground as he launches forward. In the best case scenario, he lands in a square position with his center line exposed. In the worst case, he's forward shifting, causing a temporary change of stance while in range. In fairness, Ball has occasionally switched stances or attacked from a forward shift on purpose, while safely protecting the shift with subsequent punches from the same side he threw his rear hand. But for the most part, it's just a bad position to be susceptible to Goodman's step-back counters. Goodman may have some issues with Ball's relentless pressure during the fight. He tends to back out in straight lines to maintain optimum range. For the most part, using more than one step back to get out of range is considered moving straight back, as it often leads to you being either near or on the ropes while staying on the line of attack, which can hinder his defensive options, becoming a far easier target. Depending on how quick Ball's penetration step is, as well as if he's stepping back from mid-range while already located near the ropes, one step back can cause just as many issues. With or without a forward shift, Ball follows his opponents out with punches, such as a 2-1 combination that often catches them off guard. Unfortunately for Ball, Goodman uses alternative methods of controlling distance and moving straight back. He's shown to be adept at using C-steps, which allow him to move in a circular motion to get off the line of attack. He mostly uses pivots in order to step to a new angle to stay off the ropes. At times, he combines this with a lead hand hook to counter his opponent while moving to a new position, which is known as a check hook. Lastly, he utilizes ducks and smothers, which is followed by him turning his opponent and moving them towards the ropes to sustain real estate of the ring while concurrently taking it away from them. These methods have allowed opponents to diminish Ball's pressure. Ball fights mostly out of an inactive high guard, which simply means he uses his gloves as motionless shields to block oncoming punches for defense. Like all high guard practitioners, there's clear openings through and around the guard that can be targeted. He hardly ever defends against body shots, regardless of whether it's the cross pushing straight through the guard or hooks coming around the elbows. Goodman has shown to be effective at attacking high guards with fast combinations toward the head or the body of his opponent. When Ball manages to close distance, he typically throws explosive combinations while remaining in equal positioning, where he engages in 50-50 exchanges in which his speed and ferocity typically give him the edge. While not being the most polished, Ball has shown a basic understanding of usage of physical controls when in the pocket. He uses frames to create space in order to establish offense. He uses head control for the same purpose. In the event that his opponent tries to move away, Ball is not afraid to push or hold his opponent in place to make it both extremely difficult and tiring to escape without intervention from the ref. Goodman is very capable at ducking or stepping off to the strong side angle to get off equal positioning, where he can choose to escape. He'll at times also employ physical controls with his lead hand to safely pivot out. In the event he can't safely escape, he'll initiate a clinch to prevent or end inside exchanges. On the other hand, Goodman has occasionally entertained fighting on the 50-50 from time to time. It's in these moments where Ball may have a significant advantage over the naturally smaller challenger. While Ball typically uses the jab in order to close distance and get in the pocket, he often throws single mid-range jabs, arguably the most common mistake in boxing. Throwing a single mid-range jab without a subsequent jab or power punch or any type of defensive maneuver puts you in range to trade a relatively weak punch for every punch in your opponent's arsenal, a trade that is often in your opponent's favor. Goodman frequently counters his opponent's jab by timing their entry or immediately after they throw it with his own jab counters. Unlike Ball, Goodman usually shows defensive responsibility when throwing the jab through the methods mentioned earlier. With that being said, Goodman still has a tendency to have defensive lapses and get caught throwing single mid-range jabs. Goodman has the tools necessary to frustrate or disarm Ball for most of his game and attack many of his issues. Ball's tendency to reach will likely be punished by Goodman's counters. Even his success in following Goodman out with punches can be drastically reduced by Goodman's use of C-steps, duck and smothers, and pivots that help get him off the line of attack. The most probable area of success would be the pocket, but Goodman isn't clueless there either. With that being said, how Goodman performs at the new weight class in regards to his durability and whether he can do damage on Ball is to be seen. If Ball feels no physical threat to Goodman's counters, which are mostly jabs, he may feel less inclined to look out for them and try to bulldoze his way to victory. Furthermore, he's never faced a relentless pressure fighter, so how he will respond is up in the air. If Goodman drops his punch count to focus more on defense, the judges may favor Ball's aggression. Due to Goodman's lack of experience fighting at featherweight and ball style, I'd have to call this a 50-50. Let me know who you got in the comments section below. Peace.